Then, ended up sewing. Unfortunately, I could not find the orange thread. Ugh. So I did end up doing the loop stitch with the black thread. I do advise, however, to make it super thick thread. Thick thread that's stable, thick thread you'll find in any other clothing item that you normally wear. Because if you use the thin thread, it's going to definitely cause some problems. For one, it's going to wear and tear. For two, it's not going to be very stable. So basically, when you're running around doing all your cosplay stuff, poses, whatever you're going to do, it's going to fall apart. And it's going to look like a very crappy job, which we do not want. So, once you have that figured out, you're going to cut out the Uzumaki symbol. Once you have that figured out, of course, draw this. With the red material, once again, make sure it's a shirt that you're never going to use again. Once we got that figured out, what I did is I took the same size symbol before I stuck it on here. I used that as my template to do the arm thing that Naruto has. Can't really see it very well, sorry. For the white part, that's where the white shirt comes in. Now, what you can do is when you draw in another little swirly in there, you can use waterproof marker to color in the gray, which is what I did. Or you can take a gray shirt, outline it in Sharpie, pencil, whichever you prefer to use, and then just stick the gray on the outside, therefore making the white pop out more, looking like there's some difference in the dimensions. Now, what happened here with this is when I did end up making it, the shirt was originally just a regular long sleeve black shirt. In fact, it was a thermal shirt. Depending on where you live and what kind of climate you're living in, you're used to, I suggest a thicker material if you're in the colder regions and you're going to cosplay there, because just a plain thermal suit is not going to really cut it. But if you do end up cosplaying in the warmer weathers, then the material might not be a bad idea. Now, the fact that this was just a regular long sleeve sweater, the turtleneck is where the preferred comes in. When you have the turtleneck, you don't have to do the next step that I'm about to explain. When you have the turtleneck, all you have to do is just sew the flaps to the actual shirt, and then once you cut it in half to put the zipper inside, it's not going to be a big deal. You wouldn't have had to sew anything else on here. Unfortunately, what I had to do is exactly that. I found some black fabric, black t-shirt that I was never going to use. Mom had a ton of black t-shirts that she was never going to use. This is where I also advise you guys, if your parents have clothes that they're not going to use whatsoever, go ahead and ask them if you could raid their closet, because they may have something that you can possibly use. So what I did, took the black shirt, giant black shirt, circled it around the actual collar, started sewing one side, folded it to the point of where it's going to come about right around here, not to the point of where it's covering your entire neck and where all you see is a head pop out. You kind of want to show a little neck, otherwise the photos are going to come out really awful. Next, when I did that, folded it over, sew. Then here comes the tricky part. Once you've got all this other stuff on, glued, sewed on, dry, I gave it about one night to make sure that everything's stuck on there, because if you do it too soon, obviously you know what happens when you make a craft art and you only let it sit for 5 minutes when it really needs 10. The zipper